Shalom. First and foremost, I'd like to give all praise to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rakal Kadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who have taught me this truth. And shout out to Yakim that's out there in 4 quarters of the earth proclaiming this truth. Risking your lives to go into the cities to proclaim this truth when we're at a time where they're trying to make the Bible a lethal weapon, that you have to register it as a lethal weapon, especially if you're here in the state of California, but eventually this will be worldwide, especially over here in Babylon the Great, America. But you're risking your lives to go out there and teach anyways, despite what the so-called white man has to say. Speaking of the so-called white man, it wouldn't take me long to figure out. I mean, I should have been able to tell by the surname McGregor, and by the forename Sally that this was, in fact, an Edomite. But, you get a lot of black-only Israelites as well. I mean, previous comments. But anyhow, this conversation did continue. But I ended it on a couple notes, and I just thought I'd share it with you out because, you're going to get these, especially if you're confusing a face like myself, or you just, happen to be of any of the other tribes as well. Pretty much these Christians, these Edomites, they, want you to feel sorry for them. So this is where it gets funny. All right, Sally McGregor's comment, "Aren't you white?" And, so I responded, "This is spiritual. I am a confusion of face Judah Israelite. My fathers go back to being the Brits, who were Moors, who were Judah Israelites, who mated with women of other nations, including Edom. So I have the appearance of being white, but am Judah Israelite." Okay, now this is where it gets even more interesting, because, of course, she did respond. "The Brits were Moors," sarcastically saying. "I thought they were Anglo, as in Anglo-Saxon. Are you sure? Is it the Moors only that are Israelites? Don't you care about white people being genocided? Don't you go by the New Testament? Isn't God love? And he forgives and is merciful? Why are black Hebrew Israelites so racist and hateful towards whites? They talk about how they want them enslaved. These whites that are alive now never did anything wrong. They are innocent." Oh, this is where you just got to have a laugh, Hawk. So, of course, I'm just going to show you what I had responded with. I decided to go ahead and respond on 2 points, but the first point is, another Edomite Christian. Listen, just go back to your Christ illusion talk groups, as Caesar Borgia is your God, not ours. 2 different gods, no more questions. But I had to make a comment on that other part, so I responded to that as well. Furthermore, you say that this current generation of Edomites are innocent. Then how about Syria, Iraq, Libya, Yemen, Gaza? You Edomites hire terrorists, fund terrorists, and then bomb many innocents and continue your wars, and you lie all the time, but keep getting exposed for your lies. There will be recompense for all of this. You just don't like what it is. This is our salvation. All you heathen being destroyed, especially you Edomites. This is not a black thing. We are not black Hebrew Israelites. We are the real Israelites. And this truth cuts you down to the ground. Who has weakened the nations? It's you, Esau. You are the devil we speak of. And, that's just how you respond to these Edomites. Though you don't want to get into too long of a conversation, but it's just kind of funny, these Christians want sympathy, and I get a lot of good feedback, too, and I always try to respond to that, but I just thought this was funny to bring to everyone's attention, because, you're going to get comments on the comment board that, it's just not us Israelites that are watching these videos, that you got a lot of Edomites watching it, you got them trolls out there. But anyhow, we're going to move on to the next part of this. Earthquakes in diverse places, which definitely includes volcanoes. So let's take a look at the Kilauea volcano, shall we?
Fissure 8 is still pumping, and the number of homes destroyed keeps going up. Fissure 8 is still pumping, and the number of homes destroyed keeps going up. Late this afternoon, civil defense officials updated their official count to 637 homes. The lava field also continues to grow, covering 6,144 acres.
Oh, but FEMA has an answer. Get your microchip and we'll provide you with a home. We'll give you the protection. But you'll have to endure the nuclear destruction that comes for taking the mark. Kind of reminds me of a song called BYOB. You depend on our protection, yet you feed us lies from the tablecloth, and it's just they lie, they lie, they lie, and yet they pretend to have the answers, but it's nothing but shit out lies. I ain't taking the mark, and I believe that the elect won't take it,
Officials also reported a large explosion that rocked the summit of Kilauea this afternoon. They say it released the same amount of energy as a magnitude 5.3 earthquake. It happened just after 4:30, and there was no tsunami threat.
Again, I always say pray for our, camp that's in Hawaii. Good brother there, man. Lots of good brothers that are there teaching, But this is what's happening, and, the elect ain't going to be taking the mark, but a lot of other people are already taking it, especially in the northern kingdom, but we know that the southern kingdom is next, A lot of celebrities already have it, you know that, and they're going to promote it because they're slaves. So that's what's going on over there, of course, the media doesn't really talk about it very much anymore. It's, they'd rather talk about politics. Well, who gives a flying fuck about Trump or Comey? Fuck all these assholes. We know that they're going down anyway, so, but it's all a dog and pony show, so they're not going to talk about the other events that are currently taking place, because Esau knows he's at his end. So while we know he's at his end, let's just take a look at what's going on with his war efforts in Syria, because that's crumbling. So here's what's happening in Damascus, as, pretty much they've cleared out most of the terrorists, and the southern area is getting cleaned out. I don't see any terrorists there. Do you see any terrorists there? Oh, this may not be very pleasing to the deep state. You're going to have to find that false flag. Going to have to get them white helmets to stage something so they can bomb Damascus, cause it to cease from being a city. Because right now it's not a ruinous heap. We can see that it's very much intact. As they kind of laughed as the Tomahawk missiles did absolutely nothing. And Bashar al-Assad returned back to work. So anyhow, pretty much their efforts to destroy Damascus seem to be put on hold. But we know when it does cease that'll increase the war. So let's see what's going on while they are getting rid of the terrorists.
31% من الأصوات. إنج شكك بنتائج الانتخابات وأكد أن الأرقام التي بحوزته تظهر أن أردوغان حصل على أقل من 50% من الأصوات مما يستدعي إجراء دورة ثانية. انتخابات برلمانية ورئاسية.
Basically what's happening is Erdogan of Turkey is trading for terrorists. With the YPG, saying, okay, well, we'll let this go, and we'll, back off of this city, and you can have this as long as you have the YPG withdrawal. So, pretty much to protect their terrorist groups, which their main one is Free Syrian Army.
منه للهروب من أزماته العالقة لا سيما بعد إعلانه سلسلة من التعديلات الدستورية التي تجعل منه نصف إله لا يحاسبه عليها أحد. أبرز الأسباب التي دفعت أردوغان للانتخابات المبكرة كان اقتصاديا بسبب انهيار الليرة التركية وركود الاقتصاد ومحاولته إخماد المعارضة التركية.
So anyhow, that's what's happening is they're exchanging prisoners and pretty much leaving one of the places, and then they're removing military presence from one place and then pretty much moving it around. And the deal is that the YPG withdraw from certain areas that are occupied now, which of course the United States is controlling those areas with the Syrian Democratic Forces, which are the terrorists. So it's just a bunch of playing games. And of course, while that's going on, the so-called chemical attack, well, Russia says that pretty much that they purposely attacked Syria without, of course, investigating. So here's some of the OPCW, and of course they found no evidence to prove that Bashar al-Assad had in fact used gas, because we know that pretty much the White Helmets staged this event. So let's take a look at this.
Я хотела бы обратить ваше внимание, что часть, та самая, которую, можно сказать, в общем-то, с точки зрения экспертов, является профессиональным оборудованием, к сожалению, изготовлена в странах Западной Европы. Это не надо доказывать. Конкретную информацию мы готовы в рабочем порядке передать нашим коллегам, если это будет им интересно, а я думаю, что здесь других вариантов нет, и просто предъявить соответствующие доказательства того, что действительно и, к сожалению, в руки террористов и боевиков это оборудование попало из Западной Европы.
Организованная кампания по превращению Организации по запрещению химического оружия в политизированную структуру, наделенную полномочиями вносить жесткие обвинительные вердикты в адрес отдельных государств и их руководителей. Незавидную роль играет здесь миссия ОСХО по установлению фактов применения химического оружия в Сирии, проводящая расследование с оглядкой на США и их союзников. Проведение расследований предполагаемых химических инцидентов в Хан-Шейхуне, Саракибе, Эль-Латамне и формулировка выводов по ним без выезда на места свидетельствует как минимум о непрофессионализме. Не случайно в докладе присутствуют такие слова, как «вероятно», «можно предположить», «возможно». Лексика недопустима для серьезного документа, который должен быть основан на неопровержимых доказательствах.
So they had no proof, and I end this here with this. If the Edomites, so-called white people, are innocent, well, this cuts you right there, because you falsified information and you're still bombing the shit out of Syria and all these other countries. You're a liar, and you will be recompensed. Shalom.